If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We're back, folks. This is the More Money Show. Thanks so much for carving some time out of your weekend to listen to the show. We are Red Apple Audio Network. We're all over the country. By the way, our previous discussion, we were talking about who will be the Democratic nominee for president in the next election. And I'm going to go with Fetterman. I just love Fetterman lately. I love what he's saying, and he's giving a spanking to some of his more liberal Democratic colleagues. Boy, that would be interesting to have Fetterman at the top of the ticket. But my next guest is Jay Jackson, who he's back by popular demand. Every time I have him on, I've had him on the show about 4 or 5 times. I get so many comments, Jay, from our listeners. I want to hear more about this. How does it work? Jay is one of the top financial advisors in the country. He's with Abacus Global Management. And he can help you. As you know, I just turned 65 myself. So I'm so, interested personally in what Jay has to say. How do I prepare for the next 25? Hopefully I'll live to 90. Who knows how long I'll live? Mm-hmm. But how do I deal with the longevity issues? What do I do about my life insurance? All those issues, Jay, our listeners are absolutely, very, very tuned to what you're talking about. They want the answer. So thanks for joining.
Great to be on. Hi, Steve, and to all of your listeners, and thanks for their comments and bringing me back yet again.
So let's talk. First of all, tell us about Abacus.
Sure. Abacus Global Management. We are an asset management firm that prioritizes and utilizes individual mortality and lifespan data to build customized solutions for people's financial plan.
So someone like myself, who I'm 65, so you could help me figure out, okay, what do I do about my life insurance? What do I do about all the,
that's right,
conglomerating all my, accounts and all that stuff, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, the number one fear of everyone, regardless of your net worth, is running out of money. While you're in, right. While you're in your retirement. And for us, it makes complete common sense and logic that you would want to know and plan better to how long you're going to be in retirement, right? It changes your estate plan concept.
Because, hold on, let me just interrupt you for a second. Because I don't have a long longevity in my genes. So maybe you can kind of say, well, you're based on your genetics and all that, you're probably going to live to, 78. I'm just picking out a number. So therefore you can help me plan based on the information that you have about me, about how, because I also don't want to die with it. I want to live well, while I can.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to not just living well, but living well in what you do, right? A lot of us want to form legacy. We want to donate. We want to do these things, yet we hesitate to do so. Maybe we want to give more to our church. Maybe we want to give more to our different charities that we're a part of. Mm-hmm. But we're saying, hey, if I take this away from me now, what's going to be my impact later? And that's the right assumption, honestly, because most people don't realize that 50% of their retirement could potentially be spent on the last 40 years of their life just in medical costs, right? Yeah. And what we want people to realize is that if you address this on the front end, you could actually start to take on a healthier lifestyle, even if you're in your 70s or 80s, and limit those last 4 years to maybe 2 years where most of that expense is, right? Like, you think about Alzheimer's, you think about some of these things. Neurological care and memory care can be $12,000, $15,000 a month for a loved one. Yeah. Who plans for that, right? But as you start to now thinking about that financial planning and how that incorporates some of these things, I think it's super important.
It's easy to get stuck reaching for the same familiar fruits and vegetables, even when you know a colorful variety is key. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie supplements don't replace fruits and vegetables, but it makes it easy to add more variety to what you already eat. With 31 ingredients that are whole fruits and vegetables, switching it up is easy because we've already taken care of the hard part. Go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code POD.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
The who's down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
It seems to me that also, I'm talking to Jay Jackson with Abacus Global Management, that you can, I remember was it about a month or 2 ago, you and I had lunch and you were just, my eyes just opened like a saucer when I heard about the kind of services that can be provided by a financial firm. I'd never even heard about this before, but it seems to make sense once you reach or near that retirement age.
It is. And you know what's going to happen? This is going to fundamentally shift how everyone looks at financial planning, right? Yeah. You know, President Trump just made permanent the estate tax exemption. That's huge. And so now it's not all about tax. Now it's about living, right? And living with purpose. Yes. I like to think that this is a lot more about education too, right? Like this is just one kind of interesting way to think about things, but we just came off of Halloween, right? Halloween, what does everyone dress as? Super scary characters, whether Freddy Krueger, Jason, scary clowns, all these things that we're like, man, they scare me because they could potentially kill me. However, what's fascinating is 52% of all the media coverage out there is about homicides. Well, homicides represent 1% of all the mortalities last year.
Right.
However, heart disease and cancer represented 56%. And only generated 7% of the media coverage. Now, I didn't see anybody at Halloween dressed like a cancer cell, right? like that is scary.
That's what you should be afraid of. Yeah.
That's what you should be afraid of. And that's how you educate yourself to say, I need to start paying attention to these things because the media hasn't quite caught up with this because it's not sensational, right? But it feels boring. It feels like, oh, who's going to talk about heart disease again? But if you're looking at this in your own custom solution, if you're looking at this according to some of the things that you can change about that today, one of the things you and I spoke about last month, remember, if you're going to go for a walk, put a weight in each hand. Right? Yeah. Those things matter and they have a big impact, right? Small adjustments make big impacts. And it also happens with your financial planning.
So it's an amazing thing. It's almost like you're a life coach, not just a financial manager, you know.
Sometimes it feels that way, but life coach is the most important time of their lives, right? Yeah. Like you've worked so hard and the odds were stacked against you to even get to 65. And now you're there and you're saying, hey, I have a 50% probability of making to 90 now that I've gotten this far. And what do I need to do to ensure?
By the way, you can tell me, sorry to interrupt, but you can actually look at the data of each of your clients and you could say, look, here's the probability you're going to live to 84 or 85 or 8. And
that's exactly what we do.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly what we do. But beyond that, we can build these customized solutions while we medically underwrite you personally. And then we give you all the outcomes of people who look just like you and all across the United States. And what was their outcome, right? Some lived longer, some lived shorter.
Right.
This is the kind of data, though, that we also sell to pension funds, right?
Right.
It was a big election issue on coming back to, hey, we're paying people on Social Security who are no longer alive. We track every mortality that happens in the United States. We can have a big impact on Social Security and Medicare through those audits. We're already helping the largest pension funds around the country.
Well,
helping them
almost
establish how this works.
It's almost like you're giving everybody insider information that can maximize their wealth and kind of beat the insurance companies and so on. I love it. It's Abacus Global Management. Jay, it's a fantastic product, and people should go to find that out. And can you come on in another couple of weeks and we'll finish this discussion?
I will. You bet. I'll chat with you again in 2 weeks. Thank you, Steve, as always.
Okay. Have a great weekend, folks. This is the More Money Show.
Thanks for listening to More Money with Steve Moore. You can hear More Money with Steve Moore Saturday afternoons at 1. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.